pay grades and advancement. I asked Lauren McGoodwin, CEO of Career Contessa. I thought she was so smart. She spent a lifetime in HR and consulting. Lauren, salary transparency has been getting a lot of traction. When you talk about it, what do you mean?
Yeah, so I think that there's a big miscommunication because people think of transparency with salary and they think, okay, someone's going to print out everyone's salary and on this big Excel list and they're going to put it in the break room and then we can all fight. Yeah, exactly. And then we can all fight and hate that person. That's not how I look at salary transparency. And I think it's important for companies to start thinking about it like this, which is you need to be transparent about how you communicate, how you come up with those salary numbers. So most of us as employees, we're completely left in the dark about what my number is versus, Joe's number, but also I don't know how they came up with that number. What is their strategy? Where do they pull their facts and figures? And so the communication basically ends at here's the number, and then that makes the negotiation more of like a poker game than an informed one.
I'm curious what you'd say about the issue of resentment, because whether it's total transparency as in the bulletin board and I know what everybody makes, or just being told, here's our criteria, and they're always going to be somewhat nebulous, and people will always feel somewhat shorted probably, at least a sector, of the employees. How do you deal with that resentment? Because that's my big misgiving with this whole movement is I think it would make resentment even worse.
Yeah, I mean, here's the reality is that you're right. There's always going to be someone unhappy, whether you're in this school of thought or that school of thought, whether you're being transparent or you're not being transparent. And really it comes down to I think what companies need to do is say, this is who we are, these are our values, here's how we share the numbers. If we're not a fit for you, then we're probably never going to be a fit for you, and we should just kind of go our separate ways. So I think this still comes back to people identifying companies that align with their values, which is sort of like step one in the whole, job fulfillment or career fulfillment process.
At Career Contessa, you're always looking at careers now and in the future. Do you think this open salary push will keep gaining traction, or do you think it's still going to stay kind of a niche thing?
I think it is going to start gaining traction. I think especially as we see those millennials become managers and higher up in the organizations, I do. I think we are going to see it not just be a blip on the radar and a trend. I think it's actually going to start to help people. So we have with that type of transparency. So yeah, I think it's here to stay.
It's interesting you say that because I recently read the book Ladies Who Punch. It's about the behind the scenes of The View, and Sherry Shepherd, who came on several seasons in, said Rosie O'Donnell told her, here's how much I made, here's what I asked for, here's what you can request. And she said, I didn't even know all the things that I could request and the value I was bringing, and that really helped me. And she said now she does that for other people.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I find too is exactly what you said, like I didn't even know I could do that. And so really there seems to be sort of like these unwritten career rules that we're all kind of feeling like that we're sticking to and that we're not allowed to do, which is like asking someone about their salary. And what I think is going to happen is those rules are going to break, and there are going to be, pretty much no rules. It's going to be creative problem solving. So like I have a problem, which is I don't think I'm being paid fairly. How do I, work backwards to find the solution? But certainly there is going to be more of a give and take as people have that positive experience for themselves.
Let's explore a very different, important question. How much is too much to spend on a toilet? You heard me right, a toilet.